So James is having the last of his big Mountain Veggie Burgers. And
they're actually pretty good, I'm telling you.
And I'm going to talk about the Kill Room, which got top of the stack, to my surprise. And then You Had Me at Aloha, which got second in the stack, to my surprise. And over those other ones. So I will talk about them in a minute. And
doesn't say whether the aloha meant goodbye or hello. You had me at goodbye. You gotta remember that for a time. You had me at goodbye.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, the Kill Room. So, it looks like Uma Thurman was one of the people who produced this, and it's funny because I have another movie here that I'm going to be reviewing with Meg Ryan that had a lot to do with the production of this. She directed it, and she had partially written the screenplay and a bunch of different things.
She's in it as well?
Yep, she's co-starring with...
Did she get rid of the big fat lips?
You know,
she looks a little bit better.
She looks so beautiful in this. She, like, at one point in the movie, well, I'll get to that. I want to give the Kill Room. This one. I have never seen Uma Thurman do such a good job as she did in this movie. I didn't expect it. She did not play Uma Thurman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a novel twist for her.
Yes. So anyway, it's an interesting story, and it's totally believable. So anyway, yeah, it's about an art dealer, and she's run into some tough times. She's having a hard time making it as an art dealer, and so she's because it's a very cliquey sort of industry, the art world, right? And
it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be that way, but it's marketing, and if people can't market themselves, or if they can't manage to find somebody to market them, they're not going to make it in that world. So anyway, so she's having a tough time making it as an art dealer, and she ends up being a part of somebody approaches her with another business idea, and it gets pretty interesting. So
it's gay criminal, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Oh.
So this it's well done. The characters were believable, and the story was believable, and I really enjoyed it. I think anybody who's into this sort of thing would. I mean, there's some violent images and stuff like that, so it's rated R, so keep that in mind.
After seeing CSI, or whatever that was,
exactly.
I can take pretty well anything.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was on TV all the time, and whatever.
What I can't take is descriptions of real things, you know.
Yeah. You Had Me at Aloha. So this surprised me because it's a Hallmark Channel production.
Oh my God.
And it got second in the stack.
Yeah.
It actually had an interesting story. I mean, sure, the actors, a little bit Hallmark Channel, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. And
in other words, soap opera dropouts.
Yeah, but honestly, maybe it had something to do with the fact that it's set in Hawaii. Who wouldn't love that?
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, honestly, they have it's a romantic sort of
comedy.
Well, sort of comedy-ish. It's not really. It's certainly not going to attract the same kind of audience that the Kill Room would. It's very, like it says, not rated. It does not have to be. So, very general audience. But anyway, I thought they did a good job. It
Comes
was
somewhat
fairly
recommended, if
believable.
not highly
Yeah.
recommended.
Well, not highly. I can't imagine Hallmark would ever be really
No,
highly recommended
no.
by me. But yeah, it's about a couple people who are doing a travel show, and they don't like each other, but then they end up liking each other. And then
Oh,
whatever.
it's that
They're
Hollywood
different types,
thing.
and what,
Okay.
yeah, it's it's a
Yeah,
romance sort of whatever.
Yeah, I don't
But-
think that relationships that apparently that happens quite a bit, but I don't think they work out in the long run.
No, I don't think they do. But anyway, what happens later? Meg Ryan and David Duchovny. And it's interesting because I had just watched David Duchovny in a movie, and I thought, boy, I'd like to see more of him. It's too bad I haven't been seeing more of him. And here he is in this movie. And Meg Ryan looks amazing. At one point, David Duchovny, his character says to her, like, they knew each other 25 years before or whatever, and they run into each other in an airport, and he says, "You look the same." And I'm looking at Meg Ryan. Everybody is looking at Meg Ryan in this, when they see her, the audience viewing her is thinking, she looks the same. Wow.
Thank heavens. She
She
got
looks
lip
amazing.
reduction surgery.
Well, she just didn't get the big collagen things for this. I guess maybe that went out of fashion, or I don't know,
I
or
hope it's
out of
going
fashion without
It's
her,
dreadful.
or out of fashion with her. So, because she was lovely, and then for a while there, she wasn't looking so lovely, and now she's back to looking just absolutely lovely again. And
I'm shocked.
my sister, I always thought, oh, my sister looks a little bit like Meg Ryan.
Yes,
And then
she
when
does.
Meg Ryan wasn't looking so good, I was thinking my sister looks way better than Meg Ryan.
Way better.
But now she's back to looking like Meg Ryan, and looks good. I love Meg Ryan's look. She's a cute lady.
I came to that same thought independently that she
Oh,
looked
you
like
did?
Meg Ryan. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not just you saying.
Yeah, I remember I was telling somebody, oh, my sister's beautiful. She looks like Meg Ryan, and they were like, oh. I'm like, what? Because they weren't like
Impressed?
super attractive or anything, and I'm thinking, you're gonna say that you're gonna call down Meg Ryan, but Meg Ryan's cute.
Meg Ryan's
Yeah.
one of the best looking
She is.
actresses to come down, or actors.
Yeah. She's just adorable. Anyway, and she has this sort of natural look, it doesn't seem like it's all put on. Although I'm sure she's pretty, she must be almost your age. Am I right?
I'm not sure. Maybe a bit younger.
Maybe.
Someone like Michelle Pfeiffer would be more like my age.
Yeah,
And for a
she's
long
little
while,
bit
she
my
just
age.
held her looks. It was crazy.
Yeah.
There was another
Yeah,
one.
she's a vampire.
Who was maybe a little older. I've forgotten the name, but she held her looks too.
Yeah.
From the 60s, maybe a little bit older.
So as much as I did enjoy watching this movie, it kind of reminded me of that Tom Hanks movie that was set in an airport, and it's like, oh, okay, this is getting old or whatever, but because you only have so much scenery, you have I don't know, they managed to pull it off in some movies, like Rear Window. Yeah, it's in an apartment, but you have this big view of so many other people going on and whatever, right? With that Tom Hanks movie in an airport that I can't remember its name. It was really popular there for a while. I mean, there's a lot of people around, just like in this. It's an airport. There's a lot, but you don't have their story. It's just, they're just space fillers, they're not actually people, they're just people shapes in the background, whatever. But the movie's just about one person or two people, and that's what this is. It's really just about two people. And
Airports are set up so awfully. I think they're set up that way so that when you get on the plane, unless you've got a real phobia,
you feel less claustrophobic and more comfortable on the plane than you did in the airport. Yeah. So anyway, that's another point why airport movies, it might not be the greatest to watch. You don't want to be in an airport.
I always wanted to see snakes on the plane, though. I think I saw a bit of it.
Oh, I saw it.
Was it okay?
No.
No. Well.
But anyway, that review's for a different day. So, what happens later? You end up wondering at the end. You're like, oh, well, do they, don't they, you know, whatever, right? Because you don't know what happens later. You're wondering. So that's kind of nice. But also, I mean, this, what happens later refers to, well, they had this relationship 25 years ago or whatever, and now there's this big gap, and then what happens, right? And what has happened in their life later than that, the end of their relationship and whatever. They're filling each other in and all that stuff.
Is that a recent one then?
Yeah, it is.
Apparently that's a bit of a phenomenon. People
well, people
checking
look
each other
up
out
on
on the
Facebook
internet.
and stuff. Yeah, but I can't get into my Facebook anymore. I don't know how I'm gonna. I don't know if I care. You know, I guess if I cared enough, I would try. But I don't. So anyway, but yeah, this. I don't know why this one's rated R. I really can't understand that. I suppose there was some swearing and stuff, but does that rate R? I don't think it should it? Anyway, there was some interesting thing about, you know, feeling sort of magical or whatever with this, how this encounter was meant to be, and how all the, you know, the flight delays and everything, and the storm and everything, the universe was conspiring to make sure that these people talk things through and ended up going in the directions they were supposed to be going in, or going to places they were supposed to. So there's that. But honestly, I think Meg Ryan got a little bit over her head in this. She was doing she was wearing a lot of hats in this movie. Like, her name's all over in the back credits there, and I think it was too much for her, honestly. Maybe she should have had somebody else do the directing or something like that. And I know a lot of the time people want to branch out and they want to do different things, but there was one part, especially when they're dancing, like, the movie was longer than the typical hour and a half. If movies are shorter than an hour and a half, you better have a good reason why, because I'm going to feel ripped off. Yeah. If they're longer than an hour and a half, then I'm thinking, okay, did you not want to do some proper editing? You better have a good reason for making somebody sit for longer than an hour, because that's what they expect. They expect an hour and a half out of a movie.
I think that's one reason why I like Sonnets. People finish up and move on, you know.
Yeah.
There's so much free verse, doesn't have this limit. The idea with some sonnets is people have so little to say they end up filling it out. But generally, you get this, it's not even filling out. Like with free verse, it's just the stuff spills on. And